Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or your father was right. You were an idiot and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right, here we go. The big one. All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast, where we are reviewing the movies, but we're going to redo the Oscars. And we picked the year 2000, which means the movies are from 1999.
Correct.
Okay. So, what do you remember about the Oscars? Did you watch the Oscars?
I used to be a devout Oscars watcher.
I used to watch them actually at around that time in the mid 90s to mid 2000s.
I probably watched the Oscars right up until probably 2015, and then my interest kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
But every year I would tune into the Oscars, and I did my damnedest to watch all the movies that were nominated for the big categories, at least. Because I wanted to be able to cheer on who I wanted to win, and I wanted to be able to, get angry when someone who wasn't supposed to win won.
Well, this is because we wanted to take we had a bunch of years. We actually had a different year, but that year was proving very difficult to get the movies from that year here in time to do this around the Oscars that are taking place while we're doing this. So we changed it, and I don't know if it was was it as controversial a win back then? Was there a lot of people like that? Okay, so American Beauty won. There's no secret there.
Yeah.
And it beat out The Insider, The Sixth Sense, Cider House Rules, The Green Mile. I usually don't agree with the Oscar winner. There's very rarely I do. But I do remember liking American Beauty. Did I like it more than every other movie that was there? No. But I did like American Beauty. I haven't seen any of these movies in quite a while. And I haven't even seen one of them. But I do remember liking American Beauty. Did you like it?
I did like American Beauty. I actually went to see it in theaters. I really, really enjoyed it. It was wonderfully written, wonderfully performed, beautifully shot. Did I think it was the best picture? No. Now, I'm pretty sure I didn't see 2 of the movies.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Cool.
no, wait, let me rephrase. I know I didn't see The Insider.
Okay.
Cider House Rules. Pretty sure I saw that one. Can't remember any of it to save my life.
I've never seen the Cider House Rules.
Oh.
I hate orphans. I have a house full of them.
Tell me how you really feel.
I don't like them. Why do I want to sit down for 2.5 hours and watch a movie about them? I don't. I never watched it. I know I have friends and family that just love the movie. It's just one of those ones I meant to watch it. I just never got around. I did see The Insider. My favorite movie from that time, I'll be honest, was The Green Mile. I read the book or the booklet because he released them in 5 different little oh, for fuck's sake, what was it called?
Novellas.
And I had to stop. I remember I was working. Was I on the subway or one of those buses? And I had to stop reading it because I was starting to fucking tear up. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
crying on the subway, so
You're
I
like, "I'm
had to
not doing
stop
this
re
here."
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I gotta go
No.
home in private and cry there. But yeah, they're really great books, and I remember loving the movie. So that's actually the movie that I thought, or The Sixth Sense.
See, I also thought the same thing because while I really, really liked American Beauty, it
Mhm.
didn't feel, like, revolutionary.
No.
I was like, "It's great. It's very, very good."
Oh, I remember liking it. I remember
Yeah.
really liking it.
I thought it was an incredible movie. But with The Green Mile, that one, it pulls so much emotion out of you.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna take it, and, like, the Cider House Rules, what I remember hearing from that time, it's like they were all talking about the performances, whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, but it's just another, like, serious
Drama.
movie, like,
Yeah.
drama, okay." But, like, The Green Mile, like, pulls so much emotion out of you, and it affected people. So I was like, "Okay, I could see that one." And The Sixth Sense, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, and you're gonna
Yeah.
watch it for the first time for this podcast, there's a twist, and I remember watching the movie. I watched it on VHS.
I didn't catch none of it. Again,
I didn't I had no idea until I got
I
to
was
the
like,
end, and then I was like,
"Oh my god."
and what it was funny because I remember it was first year of university. I'm watching this on VHS, and it was, I think, before the Oscars, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And my roommate was like, "Did you not see that coming?" I'm like, "No!" I immediately rewound it,
Yep.
started over again, and I was like, "I'm gonna watch," because she made mention of something, and I was like, "I didn't even notice that." So I rewatched it immediately, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's right. I had that's brilliant." And it was a really, really, like, the movie itself was good when you don't understand the twist, but then once you do, you see the level of artistry after that, where you're like, "Well, shit.
Yeah.
This takes a lot more work and planning and thought." So I thought it was gonna be either The Sixth Sense or The Green Mile, but I knew, I was like, "It's probably gonna be Cider House Rules," because
It had that
orphans,
look, yeah.
sad, kind of sepia toned. I was like, "This is gonna be they're gonna go with that one because Tortured Souls."
Now, I will say this, The Sixth Sense is one of those rare movies that are so good, but once you've watched it,
Mm,
it loses that, "Oh my
yeah.
god," but, for a first time watch, I don't know if you can compare a movie to it, where it's like, "Oh my god, what? He's
Yeah.
dead? Fuck it." If you haven't seen it, you're
Spoiler alert.
it's not like you're gonna watch
I
it
mean, sure,
anytime
it came
soon.
out 25 years ago, but whatevs.
Um, okay, so let's take a look at the box office. We'll go each one, and
Mhm.
it came out in September 17th, 1999, American Beauty. It had a domestic total of 130 million, international total of 226, so it made about $356 million, which is great on a $15
Yeah.
million budget. It made a lot of money. It was nominated for 8 Oscars. It won Best Picture. It won Best Director, Sam Mendes. Best Cinematographer winner. Okay. I mean, it was a suburb. How the fuck you win cinematography for a sub? Anyways, Best Original Screenplay winner. It was nominated for original score, film editing, Kevin Spacey. Now, Kevin Spacey, he won,
Yeah.
and Annette Bening was nominated for Best Actress. She did not win. Kevin Spacey is a bit of a rascal.
Mhm.
It's a bit of touchy feely when it comes to the fellas. Say we don't know any of everything that happened. Saying that, I'm sure he's whatever. That set aside, he is a brilliant actor. You cannot
He is.
deny how much of an amazing actor he is.
Mhm.
You wouldn't let him babysit or, you know,
Or supervise a high school field trip.
or a Boy Scout troop.
Yeah. He would not be hanging out with anyone, I'd say even 20 and under,
Ah, but
or really
he
just
can
anybody
act.
unsupervised.
But his fucking movie resume. Oh my god,
He is
so
an
many. Whew,
incredible actor, so when I
yeah,
heard the allegations
I
against
was
him, I was like,
disappointed. I was like, fuck.
"God, really?
Yeah,
You're so good. Why do you have to be such a creep?"
yeah. Okay, so here's the tale of tape for American Beauty. 1999. It's considered a comedy drama. It
Mhm.
is R. It is an Oscar contender, so it's 2 hours and 2 minutes. Taglines. Look closer.
Mm.
That's it. Thank God there's no Oscar for taglines.
Yeah.
Synopsis. A telesales operative becomes disillusioned with his existence and begins to hunger for fresh excitement in his life. As he experiences a new awakening of the senses, his wife and daughter also undergo changes that seriously affect their family. And here is the original movie poster. And for those listening, it's Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening at top, American Beauty. Look closer, just underneath it, the tagline. It is, I'm guessing it's what's her name, Mia Savino?
Mina Savari.
Savari. Her holding a rose against her belly. And
Torso.
that's that's it. It's an okay post. I wouldn't hang it on the wall.
No,
Be creepy.
but I'm sure a lot of people did.
I'm sure they did. There we go. 192 critic reviews. It comes in at 87%. 250,000 audience reviews. American Beauty has 93%. So flawlessly cast and brimming with dark acid wit, American Beauty is a smart, provocative high point of late 90s mainstream Hollywood film.
Okay.
IMDb has, holy shit, 1.2 million user ratings.
Wow.
And it comes in at 8.3 out of 10.
Impressive.
That's very impressive. Okay, so the reviews are great. We were talking about this. It's going to be hard to find some negative reviews, but yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the trailer for American Beauty.
Morning, Jim.
Morning, Carolyn.
I love your tie, that color.
Nice going, Dad.
Ricky? Coming, Dad.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
We're having everyone write out a job description. That way management can assess who's valuable and who's expendable.
My parents are trying to take an active interest in me. Why can't they just have their own lives?
I'm so proud of you. You didn't screw up once.
Oh my god, it says psycho next door. Jane, what if he worships you?
I didn't mean to scare you. I'm not obsessing. I'm just curious.
Why does he dress like a Bible salesman?
Today I quit my job, and then I blackmailed my boss for almost $60,000 past the asparagus.
Your dad's actually kind of cute. I think he and your mother have not slept together in a long time.
Shut up. You think you're the only one who's frustrated.
I'm not? Well then, come on, baby, I'm ready.
Welcome to America's weirdest home videos. This is for your own good, boy.
There are rules in life. Yes, sir. Don't give up on me, Dad. Smile. You're at Mr. Smiley's.
You are so busted.
I love shooting this gun.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it.
I rule.
If I delete tonight, would you come with me?
Yes.
All right, there's American Beauty. They really tried to sell that tagline, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They're really going for the whole like,
Look
there's more to the
closer.
suburbs than appears.
Yeah, I've been here for a while. Trust me, there's not.
I don't think I've ever lived in a suburb.
I do rule though, much like Kevin Spacey's character. I do say that a lot. Well, let's make our predictions at the end.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So let's go to the nominee. That was the winner. The Insider, Al Pacino and Russell Crowe, was released November 5th, 1999, with a budget of $68 million. Holy shit. Domestic total 29 million, international total 31. It only grossed 60. It was considered a flop.
Yeah.
It was nominated for 7 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Michael Mann; Best Cinematography, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Actor, Russell Crowe. It won none.
Dang. It's kind of harsh.
Yeah, it didn't even make any money. Like,
Yeah, it didn't even like hit its budget threshold.
no. I did read a thing too. Like the producers were saying back in 2000 that even with the 7 Academy Award nominations, it still couldn't. Because back
Yeah.
in the day, for those listening, if you won, like a lot of I tried to find out how much of American Beauty's money came after it won. Because I know back in the day, if your movie won, you could expect millions more money.
Yes.
And you put it back into theaters, and people are like, oh, that won Best Picture. We should go see it. But they were saying that The Insider, even with 7 Academy Award nominations, still couldn't make any more money.
Jeez.
I remember really, really liking it. But I mean, Al Pacino and Russell Crowe, I mean, and
See, I haven't seen this one, so I'm excited to see it. Because I remember thinking I should see it, but I just ran out of time. And then there's a whole new batch of movies to watch.
Yeah. Well, it came out again at 1999. It is considered a drama, rated R, and it is a Oscar contender at 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Jesus.
Taglines. Warning, exposing the truth may be hazardous.
Eh.
2 men driven to tell the truth, whatever the cost.
I like that one better.
Yeah. The warning, exposing the truth, has more context once you know what the movie's about. Synopsis. After seeing the expertise of former Big Tobacco executive Jeffrey Wiggin, Russell Crowe, seasoned TV producer Lola Bergman, Al Pacino suspects a story lies behind Wiggins' reluctance to speak. As Bergman persuades Wiggin to share his knowledge of industry secrets, the two must contend with the courts and the corporations that stand between them in exposing the truth. All the while, Wiggin must struggle to maintain his family life amidst lawsuits and death threats. This is based on a true story of the guy who blew the whistle on Big Tobacco. So that warning is like the warning label on a
on a pack of
cigarettes. I miss smoking.
I keep trying to quit.
I've quit for quite a while, but every now and again, I miss it. Felt so cool. Here's the poster. For those listening, it's just Al Pacino on top, Russell Crowe on the bottom. That's what they were trying to sell. Al Pacino, Russell Crowe, The Insider, and it has the Big Tobacco thing. It's not a great poster.
No, not really.
No. Like if I was going, I did not see this in the movie theaters, but like it would have been on the names alone, but you could have done a little better with the poster.
Yeah. It just looks like 2 headshots.
Yeah. So Rotten Tomatoes has 138 critics, giving this movie 96%.
Damn.
50,000 plus audience gives it 90.
Jesus.
That's pretty good. Critics' consensus was intelligent, compelling, and packed with strong performances. The Insider is a potent corporate thriller. And I love these type of movies like The Network and what's that one about the Boston Globe with they broke the story about the Catholic Church.
Oh, that one was so good.
I love those movies. Like it's just
I can't
straight
remember
up
the title,
drama.
but God, that movie was amazing.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
But I love these type of movies. They're great. I don't want to go see them in the theater. Sorry, producers of The Insider and every other one. But these are great. Sit on my couch at night when kids are gone.
Yeah.
They're great. All right, now let's find IMDb. IMDb has 100, not quite like American Beauty, but it has 179,000 user ratings coming in at 7.8. So while IMDb doesn't really like it as much, 7.8 still pretty high for
Still pretty
IMDb,
high.
and
Yeah.
179,000. We have never seen a movie with these high. Well, like Van Helsing and stuff, but not
Yeah.
1.2 million like American Beauty. So let's watch The Insider, and we'll move on to our next Oscar contender.
You go public and 30 million people hear what you gotta say. Nothing, I mean nothing, will ever be the same again.
Now, the work we did here is confidential, not for public scrutiny, any more than our one's family matters. We're very serious about protecting our interests.
He's got something to say, he wants to say it, I want it on 60 Minutes.
Maybe for the audience, it's just voyeurism, something to do on a Sunday night, and maybe it won't change a thing. And people like myself and my family are left hung out to dry, used up, alone.
What does this guy have to say?
Now, don't be paranoid, Jeff.
That threatens these people.
That isn't cigarettes are bad for you.
Who is this?
They have no right to hide behind a corporate agreement. He can talk, we can air it.
The worst kind of an organized smear campaign against a whistleblower.
Shoplifting, failing to pay child support.
They can paint everything with that brush. What are you going to do now? You're going to finesse me, lawyer me some more? Try Mr. Wallace.
If we aired this segment,
I was told, don't talk. Mind my own business.
we could be a grave risk.
We're doing this with or without you, Lowell.
Are you a businessman or are you a newsman? He's only the key witness in the biggest public health reform issue in U.S. history. Does he go on television and tell the truth? Yes. Is it newsworthy? Yes. Are we gonna air it? Of course not. Why? Because he's not telling the truth? No, because he is telling the truth, and the more truth he tells, the worse it gets. You manipulated me into this. I fought for you, and I still fight. The American public need to know.
Jeffrey?
And you wish you hadn't come forward?
Dr. Wagon's deposition will be part of this record.
You wish you hadn't blown the whistle?
Do I think it's worth it?
I told the truth. It's valid and true and to these people. That's not the point whether you told the truth or not.
There we go. That's The Insider.
Looks good.
Looks awesome. All right. So, The Sixth Sense, the movie I thought was going to win. It was released September 6, 1999, with a budget of $40 million. Domestically, it made $293.5 million. Internationally, it made another $379.3 million. And it grossed $672.8 million. It made a shit ton of money.
They did
A lot of
very
money.
well.
He was able to make crappy movie after crappy movie off this one great movie. Actually,
Correct.
I liked M. Night not all of his movies, but I like the Mel Gibson one. Oh, what was it?
Which
The
one was
Alien
the Mel
Invasion
Gibson one? Oh,
with
that
Joaquin
one.
Phoenix.
Yeah,
I went
no,
to
I
the
didn't
theater
like
and
that
saw that
one.
one. I like the one where they were the village and the wolf
I like The
creatures. I
Village.
thought that was great.
I really liked The Village.
There were a couple that they weren't
Yeah, when everyone was
horrible,
shitting on The
but
Village,
yeah,
I was like,
I thought it
that's
was
just
I thought it was
one
fine.
movie. Yeah,
I think they all wanted just more and more of The Sixth Sense, and like
I guess.
you can't do
No, but
can't
this
do that
like,
over and over and over again.
well, he really likes his big twist in the
Yes.
movie towards the end, and I'm like, I appreciate that. It's just different kinds of movies that have a big twist. Like they're not all going to be, I see dead people. Like,
Yeah. Now it had 6 Oscar nominations: Best Picture, Best Director, M. Night Shyamalan. For fuck's sakes, you want to take this one?
M. Night Shyamalan.
There we go. Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, Best Supporting Actor, Haley Joel Osment. He was great in this. Holy
He
shit.
was so good.
Best Supporting I love Toni Collette. She's
I
awesome.
love Toni Collette too.
I am surprised because I thought Bruce Willis deserved an
Oh,
Oscar nomination.
100%. He really, really did.
Just because he was in Die Hard, he doesn't get an Oscar. Fuck you, Oscars.
Correct. Look, the Oscars have a weird like system
Yeah.
And we actually talked about it years ago. I was over at a friend's house. The Oscars were on. Someone who was at the party had worked on a film that was nominated that night. So we
Oh.
were all just like hanging out and talking, whatever. And then my friend kind of turned to the other friend and said, "Hey, do you want to check and see if they've done your category yet?" We were like, "Category? What category?" So then we got into the politics of the Oscars and who wins, who they tend to like lean towards, depending on what the political climate of that year is. That
Yeah.
also like affects who gets voted to win. So it was a very interesting conversation. So I already knew Bruce Willis is not a serious enough actor
Yeah, that's so
for the
shitty.
Academy to consider.
Because you couldn't get it more of a dramatic role. And
He
he did it
like
very
everybody who was
well.
cast, including Donnie
Yeah.
Wahlberg, who did great.
I
Didn't
get,
even recognize him.
yeah, he was only in it for a little bit,
Mhm.
but he was quite memorable.
So memorable.
All right, well, let's look at the tale of the tape for The Sixth Sense. 1999 is considered a mystery thriller, PG-13. I remember being creepy as shit for a PG-13
Yeah.
movie. And comes in at actually a very low 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Hallelujah, praise Jesus. Finally, and not a 2-hour movie. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Taglines from The Sixth Sense are... Oh, yeah, there are so many of them.
Mhm.
I was trying to... All right, I see dead people.
Perfect.
1, sight. 2, sound. 3, smell. 4, taste. 5, touch. 6, The Sixth Sense.
That's stupid.
That's very... I felt stupid saying it. Not every gift is a blessing.
Perfect.
That's a good one, too. Discover the secret of the Sixth Sense.
No.
No. There are ghosts walking among us, looking for help. They have found it.
No.
Do you believe now?
Yes.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
That's creepy. Now you believe in ghosts.
That one's shitty.
Yeah. There's a few good ones in there, though.
Yeah, no, there were quite a few good ones.
Yeah. So
Some
movie had
terrible
everything.
ones.
Synopsis. Young Cole Sear, Haley Joel Osment, is haunted by a dark secret. He is visited by ghosts. Cole is frightened by visitations from those with unresolved problems who appear from the shadows. Oh, just like Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
Yes.
He is too afraid to tell anyone about his anguish, except child psychologist Dr. Malcolm Crowe, Bruce Willis. As Dr. Crowe tries to uncover the truth about Cole's supernatural abilities, the consequences for client and therapist are a jolt that awakens them both to something unexplainable.
Beautiful.
And here is the original movie poster with the 1, 2, 3. Okay, on a poster, that's a little better than me saying it.
Yeah.
I ruined it.
So this is not a tagline. That's just what was written on the poster.
For the poster. Yeah, for those
Yeah.
listening, when I said sight, sound, smell, that's on the poster. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at the bottom is 6 and The Sixth Sense and Haley Joel Osment. You can see his outline of him and the 6
Yeah.
is behind him shining out. Actually, I like the poster. It's a nice poster.
No, it's a great poster.
Yeah. All right. 162 critics come in at 86%. I wonder who didn't like it. They hated the twist ending or didn't like Bruce Willis. 250,000 audience reviews come in at 90%.
Impressive.
So critic consensus is M. Night Shyamalan's
Mm-hmm.
The Sixth Sense is a twisty ghost story with all the style of a classical Hollywood picture, but all the chills of a modern horror flick. From what I remember, I agree with that.
Yes.
And then we'll go to IMDb. With 1 million user ratings, 8.2 out of 10.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's take a look at The Sixth Sense.
You know the accident up there?
Yeah.
Someone got hurt.
They did?
A lady. She broke her neck.
Oh my God. But you can see her?
Yes.
Where is she?
Standing next to my window.
I'd send them back.
Of course you would. Oh, floating red balloon. That's what everybody needs.
Baby, why are you shaking? Cole, what's wrong?
Did you ever talk to your mom about how things are?
I don't tell her things.
Why not?
Because she doesn't look at me like everybody else, and I don't want her to. I don't want her to know.
Know what?
I see dead people walking around like regular people.
I don't see anything. Are you sure they're there?
Sometimes you feel it inside, like you're falling down real fast. You ever feel the prickly things on the back of your neck?
Yes.
That's them. They get mad. It gets cold.
How often do you see them?
All the time. They're everywhere. They want me to do things for them.
I think that they know that you're one of these very rare people who can see them. So you need to help them.
What if they don't want to help?
I don't think that's the way it works.
How do you know for sure?
Is anyone there?
Look out! Please make them leave.
I'm working on
it. So ready to watch that.
It still look even okay.
It looks good.
Even though I know the ending, it's still
Yeah.
I still am looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, it won't have the same punch, obviously, as the first
No.
time you're watching it, but I'm like, I still feel like it's gonna be good.
All right, the one I haven't seen.
Mm.
The Cider House Rules, December 10th, 1999. With a budget of 24 million, it had a domestic total of 57.5, international of 31, gross $88.5 million. So it made money. Not
Yep.
a super ton,
It's respectable.
but yeah, it made money. 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, Lasse Hallström.
Yeah, looks right.
Lasse Hallström. I know he's I don't know. Sorry if it's Norwegian or Swedish. Over there somewhere.
Scandinavian.
Yeah. Best original score, best adapted screenplay. It won.
Oh,
Best production design, best film editing, best supporting actor, Michael Caine. He won.
right on, Michael Caine.
I do like Michael Caine. And I love Charlize Theron and Tobey Maguire. And I love Charlize Theron. Like, I really love Charlize Theron.
Really? Because I've never heard you say anything like that before, ever.
She's one of my favorites. So it has a great cast. I'm excited because like you said, it's just one of those things where I meant to get around, and then 30 other movies came out, and it just got
Yeah.
lost in the shuffle.
I'm pretty sure I saw it, but I don't think I paid attention to it when I watched it. I have a feeling it was one of those movies that I just couldn't get into.
Was this one of the movies that you haven't seen? You might not have
No,
seen, or
this is the one I might not have seen.
right?
Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I don't really remember it. So if I did watch it, I feel like I wasn't paying enough attention to it. The Insider is the one that I definitely haven't seen.
Right. Okay.
And then I saw the other 3.
Okay. Let's go to the tail of the tape for Cider House Rules, 1999. It is a drama, PG-13, and another Oscar-worthy 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Why so long, guys?
To be fair, that year we were gonna do, because we might do it still.
Yeah.
They were all longer than this. They were very long movies. But yeah, 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Okay.
Taglines: a story about how far we must travel to find the place where we belong.
No. That's it. Just no.
Orphans: someone's got to do it. No, just joking. That was the only tagline, not that one, the other one.
Yeah, that yours, you just wrote. You just wrote that one.
That's my crest on my family crest on my wall here. Synopsis: a young man is taught medicine by the doctor at the orphanage where he was brought up. However, when he clashes with his mentor over the issue of abortion, he leaves the home and finds work on a cider farm. There, he falls in love with another man's girlfriend, but starts to reevaluate his principles when one of the farm workers becomes pregnant by her own father. Ew! I didn't know that. I just copy and paste. I try not to. I I don't want to see this movie anymore.
See, I think that's why I wasn't really like it didn't pull me in, or it didn't because I was just like, oh
Could have
god,
been,
dang it.
yeah. I
Like
don't want to. Sounds depressing.
bunch of orphans, trials
Orphans,
and
incest,
tribulations.
abortion. This doesn't
Yeah,
sound like a good time at all.
yeah, no. And I don't I really hope I actually like this.
Yeah, so do I. I hope it's uplifting near the end. Something good comes out of it because it all points to just sadness.
Yeah.
The poster, for those listening, is from the best-selling novel by John Irving, a very good writer. A story about how far he must travel to find the place where we belong. We belong. Oh, how far we must travel to find the
Yeah.
place where we belong. The Cider House Rules. It's lucky Toby Maguire giving a piggyback ride to Charlie Theron. In the background, I'm guessing that's the orphanage.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. Paul Rudd's in this?
Apparently.
Huh.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What's his name? Lindo. I can't
Delroy?
read. He's awesome. Oh, okay. I hope he's not the. Wait.
What are you about to say? I hope he's not the father.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it.
I
'Cause I'm
hope not. He's an
pretty
awesome.
sure.
I know it's just acting, and he whatever role he does, he's really good. But I don't want to be that guy.
I had no idea he was born in the UK.
Oh no, neither did I.
Yeah, apparently he was born in London.
He's awesome.
He is.
He's a great actor. Rotten Tomatoes, this is the lowest rated. 111 critic reviews, 71%, which is, again, not bad. 50,000 audience. When the worst movie is at 70, and one
Yeah.
at 77. So 50,000 audience members have it at 77. Critic consensus was The Cider House Rules derives affecting drama from wonderful performances, lovely visuals, and an old-fashioned feel. Now let me find the IMDb. 104,000 user ratings, comes a lot like Rotten Tomatoes at 7.4 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, let's watch this. Maybe this will jog your memory.
In other parts of the world, young men leave home and travel far and wide in search of a promising future. The only reason people journey here is for the orphanage.
They wanted a girl, Curly.
Nobody ever wants me.
I came
fuck
as a
off.
physician to the abandoned
I'm already
children
sad.
and unhappily pregnant women.
Sorry.
Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England.
Why does Dr. Larch say that every night? Does it because we like it?
And so I became the caretaker of many, father of none. Well, in a way, there was one.
Story time, Fuzzy.
His name was Homer Wells, and it was always clear to me
My father's eyes had closed upon the light of this world.
that he was a special boy.
Homer Wells has spent his entire life helping others.
You are a skilled and gifted surgeon.
I'm not a doctor. I haven't been to medical school. I haven't even been to high school.
Doubtless you will let me know when you're going to find a more gratifying life.
I was wondering if you could give me a ride.
Now he's leaving the only home he's ever known.
I've never actually seen the ocean. Are you serious?
In search of a world he longs to discover.
I'm enjoying my life here. I'm enjoying being a lobsterman and an orchardman. In fact, I believe I'm being of some use.
What are you doing with that candy, Homer?
She's the nicest and most beautiful girl I've ever known.
Sound like you're in trouble already, Homer.
Sound like big trouble to me, Homer.
I think we may have lost him to the world.
Miramax Films presents Tobey Maguire, Charlize Theron, and Michael Caine in a new film by director Lasse Hallström.
This ain't none of your business. You even know what your business is, Homer?
I can help. That's all I'm saying. I can help.
From the acclaimed novel by John Irving. A story about how far we must travel.
Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, I do not know.
Looks sad.
Great cast.
Yeah, wonderful cast.
Wonderful cast.
Paul Rudd still looks like Paul Rudd.
Yes.
20 some odd years ago.
Correct. The man never ages.
Nope.
Interesting. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one.
All right. And our last movie, The Green Mile was released December 10th, 1999. On a budget of $60 million, it made a domestic total of $136.8, an international total of $150 million for $286 million. So, again, it made some money.
It did very, very well.
It was nominated for 4 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Michael Clarke Duncan, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Sound.
And it got nothing.
Got nothing. No, didn't get best. I always wondered, like, if you get Best Picture, how can you not have Best Director automatically and the Best fucking Actors automatically? I know some movies aren't the greatest, but the performance
Yeah, that's where
outshines
it
the
comes
movie.
from.
Yeah.
But you can say, like, the overall experience of the movie was the best experience, but you might say, like, the performance of this one particular actor from this other movie definitely outshines the performances that are given in that movie.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
possible.
Right. Green Mile, 1999, is considered a drama fantasy. Oh, shit. It's rated R and comes in at 3 hours and 9 minutes. It is a Stephen King book, and it is by Frank Darabont, who did
Yeah.
The Mist and Shawshank Redemption. So he's very authentic to the material. And it's 5 novellas. So
Yeah.
taglines: miracles do happen.
Okay.
Miracles happen in the most unexpected places.
Not bad. I actually prefer that more.
Paul Edgecombe didn't believe in miracles until the day he met one.
That's actually not bad.
This is a story about a miracle where I work, The Green Mile.
No.
Walk a mile you'll never forget.
Ooh, that one's good.
That's
That
good
one's
one.
really good.
Synopsis: Paul Edgecombe, Tom Hanks, walked the mile with a variety of cons. He had never encountered someone like John Coffey, Michael Clarke Duncan, a massive black man convicted of brutally killing a pair of young sisters. Coffey had the size and strength to kill anyone, but not the demeanor. Beyond his simple, naive nature and a deathly fear of the dark, Coffey seemed to possess a prodigious supernatural gift. Paul began to question whether Coffey was truly guilty of murdering the 2 girls. And the poster is actually kind of chaotic because it has that 30s
Yeah.
look to it. And it's just Tom Hanks' name and it's just Tom Hanks wearing his uniform, and then the Green Mile. In between green and mile is him and Paul Coffey towering over him.
Yes.
And it is Paul Edgecombe didn't believe in miracles until the day he met one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 136 critic reviews comes in at 79%, where 250,000 audience reviews comes in at 94%. So the audience liked it a bit more than the critics, but 79% is nothing to sneeze at either.
True. Especially from critics.
Yeah. Critic consensus: though The Green Mile is long, critics say it's an absorbing, emotionally powerful experience.
I concur.
Yeah. And we'll go to IMDb. At 1.4 million user ratings. Holy shit. I'm glad I didn't have to go look for the reviews. It comes in at 8.6 out of 10. So that's very, for 1.4 million people and get an 8, that's pretty good.
It's pretty
Now,
impressive.
let us watch the Green Mile trailer.
You think if a man sincerely repents on what he done wrong, that he might get to go back to the time that was happiest for him and live there forever. Would that be what heaven's like?
I just about believe that very thing.
John Coffey, you have been condemned to die in the electric chair by a jury of your peers, sentence imposed by a judge in good standing in this state. Questions?
Do you leave the light on after bedtime?
I know violent men. I deal with them day in and day out. There doesn't seem to be any real violence in him. Until he kills a couple of little girls. John Coffey is a murderer. I don't think he did it at all.
Take my hand, both. You see for yourself.
You're talking about a miracle?
I do not see God putting a gift like that in the hands of a man who would kill a child.
I dreamed of you. We found each other in the dark.
Like he dropped out of the sky. Miracles are funny things. You never know when they're going to happen. And when they happen in a place like this, that's the most unbelievable miracle of all. This is the story of a miracle that happened here where I work, on the Green Mile.
Well, I'm gonna cry at that.
I was gonna say starting to get fucking teary-eyed just watching the trailer.
Same.
Between with this and the Cider House Rules, I'm like, fuck off.
I'm gonna cry so much. Like, I knew there
my
was a
kids-
reason why I didn't rewatch this movie recently, because I'm like, I'm not in the emotional space to watch it.
My kids are gonna see weakness.
And then they'll prey on it.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's crying. He's human.
Now's the time. Now's the time to fuck him up.
Yeah. Okay, before we get to ours, if we go by Rotten Tomatoes, critics have actually The Insider 96, American Beauty 87, The Sixth Sense 86, Green Mile 79, and Cider House Rules. They would have, just by this, The Insider would have won. Rotten Tomatoes audience has Green Mile at 94, American Beauty at 93, Insider at 90, Sixth Sense at 90, and Cider House Rules 77. The Green Mile would have won.
Yeah.
Poor Cider House Rules.
So many people were like, eh.
And if we went by IMDb, I think it was, it was 8.6,
Mm-hmm.
8.3, 8.2, 7.8, and 7.4. It would have been the Green Mile by IMDb as well. So what are your predictions?
I
think I'm
still
gonna like all of them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like all of them. I'm a little iffy on whether or not I'm gonna like the Cider House Rules, because I hate movies that are trying to be, mind you, American Beauty I haven't seen in forever.
And I'm wondering
So-
if it's dated, if it's a product
Yeah.
of its time.
Like there are a lot of movies that I find try to be artistic just to be artistic
Yeah.
and not necessarily to convey the story. So I'm always concerned when I see movies like The Sixth Sense. It had a very particular story and story point it wanted to deliver. Same thing with The Green Mile, same thing with The Insider. American Beauty and Cider House Rules, they're kind of dramas with a here's the secret to life kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm always concerned about those. I'm always concerned. Because
Yeah,
sometimes I find them pretentious.
I see The Insider as it's about big tobacco. It's a news event that was true, and so it has a point that will never get old. The Sixth Sense is very creepy still after seeing the preview, but knowing I don't know if I'll still like it as much now because I know the ending. The Green
Yeah.
Mile looks timeless. The Cider House looks timeless because of it. It's
No, I think it's during the 40s because
40s.
Paul Rudd goes off to war.
That's right. Okay. And the American Beauty, I would say, is like a product of its time, but that's 1999. And it
Yeah.
has been, we're in 2024.
It's
It is
25
now
years.
it's getting to that where it is a product of its time, but now it is classic. It's a quarter of a century. It's like looking in the past. I
Dang.
don't know.
I
I-
don't know if after I watch all 5 movies, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, I agree. Because I remember when American Beauty won, where I was like, that was a great movie, but I don't know if it was the best one of the year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm still gonna have those vibes.
Now, The Sixth Sense was the second highest grossing movie of 1999.
Mhm.
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace was number 1. Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me was number 3. Toy Story 2, number 4, and The Matrix. If I had my way, The Matrix and The Spy Who Shagged Me. Oh, and Toy Story 2. Like these were the movies I would have voted for in the The Mummy,
Oh, of course.
The Blair Witch Project, Big Daddy, Tarzan, Runaway
Yeah.
Bride. Yeah, there's a lot of good movies. But I know I've seen 4 of them. I liked 4 of them. I haven't seen Cider House Rules. I think I'll like it. I don't think American Beauty. I think I'll still like it. I just don't think it's going to be the best of these 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna try really hard after I watch them to like rank them in like my
Yes.
favorite to least favorite, just to see like, but then also which one would I really give the Oscar to? I have a feeling Cider House Rules and probably American Beauty are going to be closer to the bottom, which will make me sad. But you never know; there could be a surprise in there, and
Yeah.
I may end up saying, "Fuck you, Sixth Sense. You don't hold up."
Yeah, because I'm looking at one how great it is to watch it, but also how much I'm gonna want to watch it again.
Yeah,
Like Insider might be great, but I might not like where the Green Mile. I have watched it a couple times.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll rank them, see where we fall, and see where the Oscars went wrong. Because I do believe they were wrong. I think like you, American Beauty was a great movie. It was not the best movie of
I don't think it
1999.
was the best movie of the year.
No,
And that's like of our choices here, I don't think it was the best.
no.
But that's just my personal thought.
All right. Well, we are going to go watch 5 very long movies. And when we get back, we will do a mini review of each and rank the 2000 Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Should play that little Oscar music on the way out.
Oh my god.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
How's it going?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Wow, kids, that was a lot of long movies.
So many long movies.
Did you watch all of the 72nd Academy Award movie nominations?
Oh boy, did I ever.
All right, well, we got 5 to get into, so we're going to jump into we'll do the synopsis, and then we'll give our regular review, and then we'll do our after all of them, we will do our top 5 and right down to who we each thought should have won the Academy Award. So let's start with American Beauty. Let me find the synopsis here. I think it's at the very bottom. Of course it would be. Had 50 minutes to do this. What the hell?
I don't know.
Okay, Green Mile. And then we have The Insider. And then we have The Sixth Sense. And then we have... Oh, for the love of God. Oh, here we go. American Beauty. Now, I know we're not going to like critique it like we usually do.
No.
There were boobies in this movie. 2.
There were, yes.
Well, 2 sets of 2, yes. So 4.
Mhm.
But let me just warn people, being older, each instance and scene was equally uncomfortable.
Yes.
Even though I assume the boobies were older than what they were being portrayed. Mina Suvari. Suvari. Okay. She was like 20 when she filmed this movie.
Yeah.
Thora Birch, unfortunately, I read this after I watched the movie, was 16 when she shot this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she got her parents okay. Um,
I was like, please let her be 18 at
No.
least.
No.
No,
So,
16.
I'm glad it was uncomfortable as is. I'm glad I found out after, because that would even made it more uncomfortable for me.
That's terrible. Why would they do that?
For art.
No, that was just, like, excessive.
It
We didn't have
was
to see, like, all of her titties.
No, you could have done
Yeah, like,
side
just
or just to the thing. Yeah, you
or,
could
like,
have,
even just above the nipple, like
but it
although
was an Academy Award winner, so it's
and those are like, the first thing I thought when she took off her bra was, "Oh, those are fully natural."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No stunt boobies.
No stunt boobies.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So I will read this through, and then we'll fill in anything that Wikipedia
Mhm.
missed, and then we'll give our review. So, American Beauty. Lester Burnham, a middle-aged media executive in suburbia, hates his job and is unhappily married to neurotic, ambitious real estate agent Carolyn. Their 16-year-old daughter, Jane, hates her parents and has low self-esteem. Retired Marine Colonel Frank Fitz, his near catatonic wife, Barbara, and their teenage son, Ricky, move in next door. Ricky documents the world around him with a camcorder, collecting recordings on videotape in his bedroom while using his part-time catering jobs as a front for dealing marijuana. A strict and abusive disciplinarian, Frank previously had Ricky sent to a psychiatric hospital and military academy. Gay couple, Jim Allmeyer and Jim Berkeley, also neighbors to the Burnhams, welcome the Fitz family, angering the homophobic Frank. Very homophobic.
Super homophobic.
During a cheerleading routine at a school basketball game, Lester becomes infatuated with Jane's friend, Angela. No shit. He starts having sexual fantasies about her, in which red rose petals are a recurring motif. Carolyn begins an affair with married real estate rival Buddy Kane. Lester quits his job. Lester blackmails his job into giving him a generous severance package and starts working at a fast food restaurant, Mr. Smiley's. He also buys his dream car, a 1970 Pontiac Firebird, and starts working out after overhearing Angela teasing Jane that she would have sex with Lester if he improved his physique. He begins smoking marijuana supplied by Ricky and flirts with Angela. The girls' friendship wanes when Jane starts a relationship with Ricky, whom Angela thinks is strange. Excuse me. Lester discovers Carolyn's infidelity when she orders a meal with Buddy at Mr. Smiley's. Buddy fears a costly divorce and ends the affair, while Carolyn is humiliated and simultaneously frustrated by her lack of professional success. Frank, suspicious of Lester and Ricky's friendship, sees Lester buying drugs from Ricky and assumes they are sexually involved. He viciously accuses Ricky of being gay and throws him out of the house. Carolyn, sitting in her car, withdraws a handgun from the glove box, screaming that she refuses to be a victim. At home, Jane is arguing with Angela over her sexual interest in Lester when Ricky interrupts to ask Jane to leave with him for New York City. He calls Angela ugly, boring, and ordinary. Frank tentatively approaches Lester, then breaks down and tearfully embraces him. Lester begins to confront Frank until Frank attempts to kiss him, so he gently rebuffs him. Lester finds Angela alone and consoles her, calling her beautiful and anything but ordinary. When they ask each other what they want, Angela says she does not know, and Lester says he has always wanted her. As he begins to undress her on the couch, she admits her virginity. Lester realizes that her claims of being sexually experienced were feigned. That's right?
Yep, feigned.
Yeah. And he cannot continue. He confronts her as they share their frustrations. Angela goes to the bathroom as Lester smiles at a family photograph when an unseen figure shoots Lester in the back of the head at point blank range. Ricky and Jane find Lester's body in the master closet. Carolyn discards her gun and mournfully hugs Lester's clothing. A blood-soaked Frank returns home, a gun missing from his collection. Lester closing narration describing meaningful experiences during his life for which he expresses gratitude. Despite his death, he says he is happy. There's still so much beauty in the world. And that is our movie.
That was American Beauty in a nutshell.
And so anything that I missed of overly importance?
No, I think that hit everything. I don't think anything was missed in that one.
No.
It covers the big moments.
Your score.
Okay. So I remember loving this movie, and my very first thing that I wrote about this movie when I was writing my little review was apparently I was in my pretentious and artsy movie phase when this came out. It's a super weird movie. It's weirder than I remember it being. It's incredibly well made. It has fantastic performances, and it definitely draws you in. You do kind of care about the characters and the journey that they're on, and you do want to see how it evolves. Um, I didn't remember how creepy Wes Bentley's character was, the neighbor. He was super creepy
Yeah, he
and
was a little
weird.
creepy.
Yeah, I was like, "No, that's the kind of man who, like, kills your cat and then eats it raw." Like, that's no. But anyways, so overall, still a really, really great movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm I rented it for $4.99. I could have bought it for $9.99.
Ooh.
But I did not, and I
You
am
didn't
proud of myself.
you didn't, stream it?
Where was it streaming?
Yeah, because I didn't rent this one.
That was the only one I had to rent.
Paramount Plus.
No, I searched for it, it wasn't there.
That's right, because when I went into Paramount Plus and put in, because it told me on my phone, so I went on to the search and hit American Beauty,
Yeah.
and then it popped up on Paramount Plus. Then I hit Paramount Plus, and it went to it. That's right, because when I first, yeah, because when I went right to Paramount Plus, because it said it right here, it's on Paramount Plus, so I went there,
Yeah.
not there. I'm like, you lying pieces of shit. And
I
I searched for it, and then it said Paramount Plus, and I clicked on it,
Yeah.
and then it went into Paramount Plus to the movie.
See, I think my problem is my Paramount Plus is I get it through Prime. So the
Oh,
only option for me was to rent.
to rent.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You know
Well,
what?
no,
$4.99?
yeah.
No,
No, it's not. Yeah.
totally worth the $4.99. I'm glad I didn't purchase it because I don't think this is a movie I'm gonna wanna rewatch over and over and over again. But I'm glad I was like, $4.99, totally worth it. Like, I'm not mad about it. Would I have bought it? I was tempted because the price was only $9.99. It was discounted by $5. But I was like, "Nah, man, I don't think this is gonna be a rewatcher." So I was like, "Let me just rent it." And I feel good about my choice.
All right, my score. I still like the movie, not as much as I did. Again, like you, I think it was really hip to like it, or it was a very hip for its time.
Mm.
Sound old just saying it like that.
I was gonna say, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I did not think this was the best movie in 1999, or more appropriately, I did not think it was the best picture among those nominated. This movie gets a lot of backlash now about how exaggerated the story is, how the dialogue is a little over the top, dramatically speaking, how the characters are just characters.
Mhm.
It's almost if someone, dare I say it, made a movie. Like, yeah, that's sometimes movies are made. It is exaggerated, and the dialogue is silly at moments. It's a movie. It's make-believe. A lot of criticism goes to Cooper, who played the homophobic father.
Yeah.
And they were saying that is a very stereotypical character. To that, I say, leave whatever liberal bubble and head north, south, east, or west from whatever city you are in.
Any small town.
I assure you, these people exist.
Oh God, yeah.
I see some of these
boy,
people
do
at
they.
Christmas dinners. And I don't care what ethnicity you are. You have a family member that's over 60. Chances are, well, next family dinner, start asking them specific questions about different races, gays, lesbians, and watch that dinner go right off the fucking rails.
The amount of times I have said to someone in my family, friends of the family, I'm like, "Wow, you're super homophobic." And then they always say, "I don't have a problem with gay people." But and I'm like,
yeah, but
it's
I don't want to
fine.
sound racist, but like, holy
I don't
shit,
have a
Grandma.
problem with I have a friend who's black. I don't hate black people.
That's what I mean. And this hardcore that he played in the movie, they really do exist.
They do.
Yeah.
They definitely do. I've
And
met
he
a few
played
of them.
I did not remember a lot of this movie, obviously. So when it got uncomfortable, it really got uncomfortable. And if you don't think guys like Kevin Spacey exist and Annette Bening, the teenage girls, again, you're mistaken. They do. Probably more
Yeah.
now than in 1999.
Mm.
Now, to that degree, this movie did add the drama and it made it enjoyable, if not a little hard to watch at times. It's a 90s movie, and I did like it. But
Yeah.
I thought, yes, it's overacted in parts, very uncomfortable in parts, but it was overall fun. A fun, uncomfortable movie.
No, for sure. And there were a lot of moments where I was like, this is so pretentious and artsy.
Yeah.
Like, you're going for the, like, this represents, like, this is a metaphor for, whatever it is. And I'm just like, oh God, I was
Oh, yeah.
so into this movie when it came out.
They
What was
laid it on thick.
It was, like, very pseudo-intellectual. God bless.
Yeah.
But I mean, Annette Bening plays, like, the ultimate Karen.
Yes.
Like, suburban Karen.
Yeah.
Her hair through the entire thing, I was like, "Girl, I feel you. I know who you are. You've yelled at me because they raised the price of coffee at Second Cup. Like, I know you."
But it was funny. It was sad. It was dramatic. The acting was great. The pacing was great. The cast was. I would have liked to seen a little more of the gay couple. I love Scott Bakula.
Jim and Jim
So
were gems.
yeah, like they were. It was just you could have had more of almost everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like it. It was not the best movie in 1999, but it was
No.
a good movie.
It was a very good movie.
Yeah,
It was a very good movie.
It is dated, but yeah, it's 1999. So
Yeah.
they made very pretentious movies like this.
Oh, this was the I do it for the art, like,
Yes.
grouping.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the I do it for the art. Like, I appreciate it. But I was like, God, you're trying so hard. And also that flying bag thing when he's like, it's the most beautiful, want to see the most beautiful thing I've ever recorded. And fly. I was like, that keeps popping up in various TV shows and movies.
Oh yeah.
And it always fucking kills me because I'm like, oh my God, American Beauty.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I feel so much. It just hurts, or feels like I'm like, oh my God.
I was like, these are all signs of mental, like, issues.
Yeah. Which he had.
Which he had. And I was
Yep.
like, boy needs therapy. Not to be hanging out with some girl that he's going to take to New York where he knows drug dealers.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's American Beauty.
That's American Beauty. The Cider House Rules. Okay, now I had not seen this movie until now, and I wish that I never did. Between watching this and The Green Mile on the same day, I was emotionally spent. So let's go through this movie. Homer Wells grows up at St. Cloud's, a Maine orphanage directed by Avon Cooler? Avon Cooler? What the fuck? Avuncular.
Avuncular.
Avuncular. Dr. Wilbur Lark.
Oh.
Homer is returned to St. Cloud twice by foster parents. The first family felt Homer was too quiet due to the orphanage babies soon learning that crying is pointless. The second beat him. Dr. Lark is addicted to ether, and he secretly performs abortions. Conditions at the orphanage are sparse, but the children have love and respect, and they are like an extended family. Older children, such as Buster, look out for the younger children, and in particular care for those who are sickly, including Fuzzy Stone, who was born prematurely to an alcoholic mother. Fuzzy suffers from respiratory disease and thus spends most of the time beneath a plastic tent, ventilated with a breathing apparatus. Each night before sleeping, Dr. Lark says to the children, "Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England," as both an encouragement and kind of blessing. Homer, the oldest of the orphans, is very bright, helpful, and even-tempered. So Lark trains him to obstetrics and abortions as an apprentice. Jesus. It's getting blurry already. Despite Homer's never having attended high school, Homer disapproves of abortions, and although Lark has trained him, Homer refuses to perform them. After several years, Homer is very skillful and confident performing all his duties. Lark wants Homer to take over after Lark retires, but Homer feels it's impossible as he lacks formal medical education, and he wants to see the outside world beyond the orphanage. Dr. Lark performs an abortion on Candy Kendall. Candy and her boyfriend, Wally Worthington, fucking 1940s names, oh my God. A young a young couple who came to the clinic for an abortion. Wally is a pilot on leave from the service. Wally's mother, Olive, owns the Worthington family apple orchard where Homer settles as a worker. He lives on Worthington Estate in Cider House, the bunkhouse. Wally returns to World War II. Homer is exempt from this as Dr. Lark has diagnosed him with a heart condition. While Wally is away, Candy starts flirting with Homer and they have an affair. Homer picks apples and Arthur Rose's team of migrant workers, whom the Worthingtons employ seasonally at the orchard. A list of rules for its occupants is posted in the cider house, but as the migrant workers are illiterate, they have never known what the rules are. When Homer reads them, the workers observe the rules have been made without the occupants' consent by people who do not live there and do not share their problems. Consequently, they feel they can ignore the rules. Homer and Candy become much closer during the harvest and spend more time together while Wally is fighting in Burma. At St. Cloud's, lovely, Fuzzy Stone succumbs to his illness while watching a private screening of King Kong, and Dr. Lark, Buster, and staff conceal Fuzzy's death from the other orphans by telling them that Fuzzy was adopted. Even so, the loss hits everyone hard, Lark most of all. After Arthur and his team return from the orchard the following season, Homer discovers that Rose, Arthur's daughter, is pregnant. Candy learns that the baby's father is Arthur. Homer decides to abort Rose's baby with Arthur's assistance. A few days later, Rose tries to run away. When Arthur tries to say goodbye to her, she stabs him and flees. He then makes the injury worse and, as a last request, asks Homer and another worker to tell police his death was a suicide. Oh, it's just a feel-good movie. Wally returns from Burma paraplegic. Although Candy loves Homer, she decides to take care of Wally. Immediately after this, Homer learns Dr. Lark has died from an accidental overdose of ether. Homer decides he is most needed back at the orphanage. When he returns, he is greeted joyously by both the children and staff. He learns that not only did Lark fake Homer's medical record to keep him out of the war, but he also faked college credentials and used reverse psychology to convince the orphanage board to appoint Homer as the next doctor. Homer fills the paternal role that Lark previously held for the children of the orphanage, telling them, "Good night, you princes of Maine, you kings of New England." And that is the Cider House Rules.
Yeah.
Your score.
Okay. So this is a very steady but slow-paced movie. I see why it was nominated. It's well written. It has big themes, all that stuff from the late 90s. It made me tear up a little bit. R.I.P. Fuzzy. Forever and ever, I love you. But overall, I was so fucking bored watching this. I was like, for fuck's sakes, Homer, grow a pair, do some shit. And he's just so Candy says stuff, and then he says stuff, and then he's like, okay, I mean, I get it. It's cool. And I'm like, it's almost like there's no actual growth. It feels like his time at the orchard was just like a little vacation. And then he just goes back to the life that was planned for him. And I was like, there was no character growth. And I'm sorry, Tobey Maguire. I sometimes like you as an actor. I did not like you as an actor in this because I have never seen a performance so static through the entire thing. And I'm just like, I can't even. So yeah, this movie was boring and the story kind of got on my nerves. I saw what they were trying to do and it was just artsy, beautifully shot. But it was just artsy enough and it talked about really big themes and it had some shocking moments. So I was like, I get it, but I was so bored watching this. I think I might have fallen asleep a little bit.
All right. Anna does not like The Orphans.
No, I like The Orphan. Fuck the rest of it. I like The Orphan. Give me a movie about all these orphans, I'm in. I was invested in The Orphans. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck.
All right. I had never seen this movie before, and I wish I never had. To me, this was really, it was a downer. Did they have to kill all the orphans and make great characters incestual pedophiles? I don't know if they're a pedophile. I don't know how old Rose was, but it was wrong, whatever. whatever
Yeah.
her age.
No.
The Cider House Rules was by the numbers drama perfection. The movie should have won cinematography. This movie had a realism while still looking cinematically incredible, like realistic and beautiful. The acting was good. The dialogue was good. The characters were great. The pacing, I like the pacing, but it was sad, like a lot of sadness in this movie.
Yeah.
Like there was death all over the place. But I did like the story, minus the children and dying and the incest. But it had a purpose and it handled a lot of difficult subjects well. It was funny, it was heartwarming, it was a tearjerker, and it had, thank God. See, the ending, like if he didn't go back to the orphanage, I would have been very upset. It's not a perfect storybook ending, but one that was triumphantly satisfying. Like I said, he went back and took over the role. I can see why people might not like it. It's a feel-good movie that makes you feel bad constantly throughout. It is very by the numbers, as if a conductor was playing the movie and you very specifically through throughout the entire thing. Some people don't like that. Sometimes it doesn't work. For me, this one worked. I will watch this again. It's not a Saturday night movie night with the kids.
Yeah. No.
This is a
not.
Sunday afternoon. It's raining. Yeah.
See, my main issue with this movie was there was no character growth for Homer. Like, I think if he had gone back, if he had chosen to go back to speak to, the doctor and to make peace with him, that would have shown character growth. And then his choice to stay at the orphanage afterwards would have made more sense to me. Like that, it was just like, oh, well, that's where I go back because that's where I belong, but not, you know what I mean?
Well, my one gripe is that if Candy would have left Paul Rudd's character, the pilot, and went with Tobey Maguire, he would probably never gone back to the orphanage.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a little better if he said, I need to go back. My home, they're my family. Because the only reason he went back is because Candy dumped him. If she didn't, he wouldn't have gone back. Neither would I.
Candy dumped him and he was like, cool, I get it. Like, you said yourself you have trouble being alone. I was just a placeholder. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then it's almost like he breaks up with her. He hears about the doctor's death. Very, very sad. That was a killer scene. I was like, no, Michael Caine, don't die.
A lot of depth
And then
in this movie.
he's just like, no, I got someplace I gotta be. And then he just shows up at the orphanage. And it just felt very, I'm trying to find the right word. Because all I can think is it's very annoying. Because I'm like, there was no actual growth. It's like he just took a pause on his life, made a lot of bad choices, made like one good choice, and then he was just back where his life, the doctor had already planned for him, was going to happen. So I was like, I felt like Homer's character didn't actually experience the growth. He just kind of put a pause on his life, went to do something else, and then came back to the life that was already planned for him. So I think that's what kind of annoyed me. Also, they didn't have to kill Fuzzy.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
That was very sad. And I was mad. I was so mad. I was like, you did not just kill him. And they did.
The poor girl that went in for the abortion, she died.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah.
She died good and dead.
And Delroy Lindo was the bad character. And his character was great. And you're like, because after reading the thing, you knew he was the bad guy.
And it's so funny because you hear it and you see like that. I'd watch a movie about that. The traveling migrants. I'm like, show me that movie.
Yeah, they're heading off to Florida. Pick oranges.
They're going to Florida, but I'm like, show me Rose. Like, let me know where she goes. I want to see that. Because she had some growth.
Yeah.
Toby.
All right. Next up, The Insider. Here we go. During a prologue, a CBS producer, Lowell Bergman, convinces the founder of Hezbollah, Sheikh Fadallah, to grant an interview to Mike Wallace for 60 minutes. While preparing for the interview, both Wallace and Bergman firmly stand their ground against the Sheik's armed and hostile bodyguards' attempted intimidation and disruption. Later, Bergman approaches Jeffrey Wiggin, a former executive at the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Company, for help explaining technical documents. Wiggin agrees, but intrigues Bergman when he adds that he won't discuss anything else, citing a confidentiality agreement. B&W later coerced Wiggin to a more restrictive agreement, leading Wiggin to accuse Bergman of having betrayed him. Bergman subsequently visits Wiggin to defend himself and investigate the potential story. Wiggin, through apparently possessing very damaging information, is hesitant to jeopardize his severance package with B&W by revealing anything. Wiggin's family move into a more modest house, and Wiggin begins working as a teacher. One night, Wiggin finds evidence of trespass and receives a sinister phone call. Meanwhile, Bergman contacts Richard Scruggs, an attorney representing Mississippi in a lawsuit against the tobacco industry, suggesting that if they depose Wiggin, it could negate the confidentiality agreement and give CBS cover to broadcast the information. Scruggs expresses interest. Sometime later, Wiggin receives an email death threat and finds a bullet in his mailbox. He contacts the FBI, but the agents who visit him are hostile and confiscate his computer. A furious Wiggin demands that Bergman arrange an interview in which Wiggin states that he was fired after he objected to B&W intentionally making cigarettes more addictive. Bergman later arranges a security detail for Wiggin's home, and Wiggin suffers marital stress. Wiggin testifies in Mississippi over the objections of B&W attorneys, despite having been served with a gag order. On returning home, he discovers that his wife, Leanne, has left him and taken their daughters. Eric Cluster, the president of CBS News, decides not to broadcast Wiggin's interview after CBS legal counsel Helen Caprelli warns that the network is at risk of legal action from B&W. Bergman confronts Cluster, believing that he is protecting the impending sale of CBS to Westinghouse, which would enrich both Cluster and Caprelli. Wallace and their executive producer, Don Hewitt, both side with Cluster. Wiggin learns of this, is appalled, and terminates contact with Bergman. Whew. Investigators probe Wiggin's personal history and publish their findings in a 500-page dossier. Bergman learns that the Wall Street Journal intends to use it in a piece questioning Wiggin's credibility. He convinces the editor of the journal to delay while Jack Palladino, an attorney and investigator, evaluates it. After infighting at CBS over Wiggin's segment, Bergman is ordered to take a vacation. As the abridged 60-minute segment airs, that means they altered it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't include the interview with Wiggin, for those listening. Bergman contacts Wiggin, who is both dejected and furious, accusing Bergman of manipulating him. Bergman defends himself and praises Wiggin for his testimony. Scruggs urges Bergman to air the full segment to draw public support for their lawsuit, itself under threat by a lawsuit from Mississippi's governor. Bergman is unable to assist and privately questions his own motives in pursuing the story. Bergman contacts an editor at the New York Times, disclosing the full story and events at CBS. The Times prints the story on the front page and condemns CBS in a scathing editorial. The journal dismisses the dossier as character assassination and prints Wiggin's deposition. Hewitt accuses Bergman of betraying CBS, but finds that Wallace now agrees that that bowing to corporate pressure was a mistake. 60 Minutes finally airs the original segment, including the full interview with Wiggin. Bergman tells Wallace that he has resigned, believing 60 Minutes' credibility and integrity is now permanently tarnished. And that is... Now, that sounded very boring. I will.
Yeah.
Well, what's your score?
Well, okay. This is an incredibly well-made movie. The first half was a little bit slow, but it really picks up. Like that's a really great ground for the story that comes afterwards and the developments in the plot. It pulled me in towards the end. The performances were really, really good. It just didn't wow me. Like, it's a really good movie, and I do think it's something everybody should watch, and it is a really great piece of acting and directing, and it's super good. And a great jumping off point if you want to learn more about the true story of what happened. It's great. Russell Crowe kind of got on my nerves a little bit because he was trying to mimic Wiggins, and it felt forced. So I was like, if he hadn't tried to do the same mouth movements or mannerisms, I think I would have fallen into that. Like I would have believed his character more. But overall, it's a really, really good movie. And I think everybody should like give it a chance. Also, it's only 2.5 hours long. And we can say that now because there's a 3-hour movie that we watched for this.
Yeah, that's one of the shorter ones.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, it's 2.5 hours, no problem." But it packs a lot of information in there, and there's a lot of really great, conversations to be had from this about journalistic integrity and, at what point can confidentiality agreements be effective? At what point do they become ineffective? Like, it's a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh wait, where's mine? Damn it.
You're fired.
Jesus. Okay, American Beauty, Cider House Rules. Nope.
Nope.
Every friggin' time.
Just having difficulty finding it.
And because I didn't put it. Okay, here we go. The Insider. This was a movie with no supernatural, no action, no killings, no explosions, no here. It's just story and dialogue. And for 2.5 hours, I was enthralled. It was great. This is why actors, I think, aspire to act, why directors aspire to direct. It was very, very well made. This was based on a true story. It was fictionalized a bit, obviously, to help add to make it more interesting. But it was a true story about the tobacco industry and the whistleblower and the lengths, not just the tobacco industry would go, but the network, the news program that was supposed to be on Russell Crowe's character side. Newspapers, people, like how far people would go to stop someone. And Russell Crowe's character, Wigan, is not perfect. He is not even that likable of a character.
Not particularly.
No, as far as a hero goes, this guy sucked.
He has really shitty social skills, like really shitty social skills.
Yeah. Al Pacino, a lot more likable. And they were both really, I thought they were really good. This wasn't just an Al Pacino and Russell Crowe starring in a good movie and being great. Every last actor from the tobacco company, his wife, the 60 Minutes characters, the lawyers in Mississippi, the Middle Eastern guys at the beginning, the Hezbollah guys, everyone must have read this script and goes, this is a good movie. I'm going to give everything, because it showed. It was just fantastic right across the board.
Yeah.
This is why we love good movies and smart movies. This is a great story that came to life on screen. I really liked it. Yeah, it was good. It's not one, again, I'm not going to watch over and over and over again, but
yeah,
it is a very good movie. It's a good movie to watch, because I miss it. News has changed so much. It's either so far to the right, so far to the left. I kind of miss that. Just give me the middle, give me the news, and let me decide. And this was so good at it's an important thing about corporate. What was the thing he signed, the confidentiality agreements?
Yeah.
What is right, what is wrong, how far should we go? And it's also good to see Michael Mann, who directed this. Like, it was such an amazing shot movie. Like, it was great. Like, this is like why this is really a great movie to watch.
Yeah, if you're interested in directing, like, this is a great, like, directing 101.
Yeah.
He got all the coverage. He had incredible shots. The lighting was so good. The cinematography was great. I was like, God, you guys are killing it. Like, this is a really solid, well-made movie.
Yeah.
And it does actually have the conversation about what role does journalism play.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing from the CBS people in here is definitely what's happening more and more.
Yeah.
Where they care more about, whether or not they're going to have a financial loss. Are they going to make profit? Like, news agencies are really becoming more entertainment agencies.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating because, you know what, there's a quote, and I don't know who said it, but they always say, if someone tells a journalist it's raining, it's not their job to report that that's what was said. It's their job to go to the window and see if it is actually raining.
Yeah.
And then report on that. And I was like, that's definitely gotten lost because there's a lot of she said, he said, an anonymous
Yeah.
source, but then they go into anonymous sources too. Such a good movie. It is
Yeah.
a very, very good movie. Do I want to watch it again right now? No. Will I want to watch it in a year? Probably not. But it was well made. It was a good watch.
Yeah. And if you do watch it, watch even when they're at a restaurant, when they're at an airport or a train station, the background actors, just watch how well everything is done. It is a really well shot movie.
Yeah, it really is.
All right. Oh, great. Here we go. The Green Mile. All right. So let's let's find this one. This was the longest movie.
God bless.
Okay, so gotta go up to nope. Jesus. Nope.
You literally rolled.
Here we go. Yep. Here we go. The
Yep.
Green Mile. At a Louisiana assisted living home in 1999. It was 1990. Okay. Retiree Paul Edgecombe begins to cry while watching the film Top Hat. His companion, Elaine, becomes concerned, and Paul explains to her that the film reminded him of events that he witnessed when he was an officer at Cold Mountain Penitentiary's death row, nicknamed the Green Mile. In 1935, Paul supervised corrections officer Brutus Brutal Howell, Dean Stanton, Harry Terwilliger, and Percy Wetmore, reporting to Warden Hal Moores. Percy, the nephew of the state governor's wife, demonstrates a severe sadistic streak, but flaunts his family connections to avoid getting held accountable. He is particularly abusive towards the prisoner Edward Delacroix, breaking his fingers and killing his pet mouse, Mr. Jingles. Oh, I kind of added that in pretty soon.
Yeah, a little early.
Yeah. Paul is introduced to John Coffey, a physically imposing but mild-mannered black man sentenced to death after being convicted of raping and murdering 2 young white girls. He joins Dell and another condemned convict, Arian Bitterbuck, the first to be executed. That's Bill Graham.
Graham Greene?
Graham Greene, sorry. Yes. The officers are forced to deal with psychotic new inmate William Wild Bill Wharton, who frequently causes trouble by assaulting the officers and racially abusing John, forcing them to restrain him in the block's padded cell on more than one occasion. Guy was insane.
Dude, fully nuts.
After John heals Paul's severe bladder infection by touching him, not what you think, and later resurrects Mr. Jingles, Paul gradually realizes that John possesses a supernatural ability to heal others. Paul doubts whether someone with the power to perform divine miracles is truly guilty of the crime. In exchange for resigning from the penitentiary and accepting a job at the insane asylum, Percy is allowed to oversee Dell's execution. At the execution, Percy deliberately avoids soaking the sponge used to conduct electricity to Dell's head, leading to Dell's suffering a gruesome and agonizing death by burning. With John forced to feel Dell's pain as well, Paul and the other officers punish Percy by forcing him to spend the night in the padded cell. While Percy is locked away, they drug Wharton, Wild Bill, and secretly smuggle John out of the prison so that he can use his powers to heal Warden Moore's wife, Melinda, who has a brain tumor, and then saving her life. After Percy is released from the padded room, the others threaten to report him from his various acts of misconduct if his behavior continues. John uses his powers to release Melinda's affliction into Percy's brain, causing Percy to shoot Wharton, Wild Bill, dead. Soon after, John reveals in a vision to Paul that Wharton, Wild Bill, was the true culprit of the crimes for which he was wrongfully condemned, releasing his supernatural energy into Paul in the process. Having gone into a catatonic state, Percy is committed to the same insane asylum where he had planned to work after resigning from the prison. After realizing that John is innocent, Paul becomes distraught at the thought of executing him and offers to let him go free. Although equally distraught at the outcome, John tells Paul that the execution would be an act of mercy, as he views the world as a cruel place and is in constant pain from the suffering that people inflict upon each other. Mentioning that he has never seen a movie before, John watches Top Hat with the other officers as his last request. As John is taken to be executed, he is mercilessly scorned by the parents of the two girls who still believe him to be guilty. He asks not to have the hood placed over his head as he is afraid of the dark. Paul, Paul Brutal and other Brutal?
Brutus.
Oh, okay, they spelled it wrong. Brutus. And the other officers watch in great sorrow, crying and holding back tears, except for Barry Pepper's character. As John, that would be me in the movie. As John is executed. Back in present day, Paul tells Elaine that John's execution was the last that he and Brutus witnessed, as they both subsequently resigned from the prison and took up jobs in the juvenile system. Paul reveals to Elaine that Mr. Jingles is still alive, having been blessed with a supernaturally long life thanks to John's healing touch. He also reveals that he is now 108 years old. He was 44 when John was executed. While Elaine sees Paul's long life as another of John's miracles, Paul speculates that he may have been condemned to linger on earth and outlive all of his loved ones as divine punishment for John's execution. Paul later attends Elaine's funeral and muses on how much longer he has left to live, saying, "We each owe a death. There are no exceptions, but oh God, sometimes the Green Mile seems so long." And that is The Green Mile. Your score.
Okay, so this is a very good movie. It is very well written. It is a great story. I teared up a little bit, but I felt the 3 hours.
Did you?
Like I had to take a break at the 2-hour mark because I was like, it felt almost like watching multiple episodes of a TV show. Like it was just really, it felt really long. It was a good watch. I was not enthralled. I did feel for the characters, especially the inmates. It also is a very frustrating kind of movie for me because I'm one of those people that if in the movie there's an injustice done, I need justice served. Like I need it to be made right because I'm a vengeful person. I want the guilty parties to be like just shooting Wild Bill in his cell was not enough. I wanted him tortured. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a frustration, but I mean, yeah, there were quite a few times where like I teared up and I was like, this is not right. Oh, you poor thing. I just want to hug you. Why? Oh, like there was a lot of that. But I also want to point out that when I first started watching this and I saw Percy, I was like, you're bad. I think you killed the girls. Like that was my very first thought. And then I was like, you look familiar. And then I realized years ago, there was a much older actor. I think he was in his 50s. He started dating like a 17-year-old.
Yeah,
And I
that's
was
him.
like, yeah, that's him. And then he married her. And
Yeah.
then she had a whole bunch of like plastic surgery. And then she divorced him like 10 years later. And she was like, he was abusive. And I'm like, well, no shit, girl. But yeah, like once that clicked in my head, I was like, oh, so they cast you according to your personality. Cool. But yeah, no, he was a very hated character. And every time he got I was like, yes, you make him feel like shit. Also, I got very nauseous during Dell's execution. It really it hurt my heart. I was
What a
like, I can't.
horrible way to go.
I had to cover my eyes. I couldn't do it. Because I was like, oh God, no. Oh geez. And then like I'd peek through and I'd be like, oh, it's still going. No, this is terrible. But it was a really good movie. It was very heartfelt. It's just I felt the 3 hours. I felt it. And that kind of pulled me back from a super great review. Your thoughts? How much did you love it?
Yeah, no, it was it was a long movie. But if the insider is how to make a great story come alive on screen, then The Green Mile to me is how to make movie magic. This was a long 3+ hour movie that I wasn't looking at the time. I was really into it. The characters were amazing. The story, the pacing, the acting, the directing, it looked fantastic. Again, this is not just Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan making the movie. Everyone was good in this. Even the weirdo, Doug Hutchison is his name, who played Percy.
Yes.
Because they wanted you to hate this character, and he brought that hate alive. But Barry Pepper, David Morse, James Cromwell, Graham Greene, Jeffrey Denham, Delacroix, Michael Jeter. Jeffrey was the older guard. Michael Jeter was the Cajun guy. And our friend Harry Dean Stanton, who was hilarious as when they used him to do the practice run throughs.
Yes.
When he was saying, okay, I'm walking, I'm praying, I promise I'll never do that again. And then he's like, yeah, I guess that's the truth, because he's about to get executed. That was great. But even like Patricia Clarkson, Bonnie Hunt, Gary Sinise, Williams, like, I totally forgot about Sam Rockwell in this movie. That character was fucking fantastic. I mean,
Sam
horrible.
Yeah, no, but he kills it. Like,
Oh
you
my God.
feel the absolute unhingedness coming off of him.
Yeah, like nuts.
Yeah.
And in a fun way. And then you realize he is the reason why John and then you just hate him.
Well, I
but
already kind of hated him before
Yeah,
that, 'cause I was
yeah,
like,
but you
"You're
really
kind
hate
of a
him.
sh-" But you really, yeah. At that point, I was like, somebody needs to shank him. Start sharpening a toothbrush. Like, this is not okay.
But he is such a good actor. That was a perfect execution of that role. And this movie had two villains. It had Percy and it had Wild Bill. And they both got their comeuppances. I kind of like you, like Wild Bill should have got a lot worse.
Yeah.
Percy, that was very, I thought, very
That was poetic.
very well. So yeah, it was very poetic.
It was perfect.
Yeah. This did not have a happy ending. From walking John Coffey down the Green Mile and strapping him in, like I said, I would have been Barry Pepper, just fucking sobbing uncontrollably. And if that weren't enough, when you get to see Mr. Jingles again, but then you learn Paul Edgecombe is cursed. Like, he was 44 in the 40s, like, or 30. Where was it? The 40s, 30s?
1935.
Yeah. And it's like 1999. It's like he outlived his friends, his wife, his kids.
Yeah.
And he said, if Paul Coffey could make a mouse live this long, how long do I have?
Yeah.
It was very exhausting. I was spent between this and Cider House Rules. It was a double feature. I was, fuck me, I'm done. But I liked the movie. I thought it was amazing.
See, I'd give it very good. I don't know if I'd give it amazing. But definitely very good, bordering on amazing, but not quite there.
All right, not quite there. And now, The Sixth Sense. Let me go back. The shortest movie of them all, at 1 hour and 46 or 48 minutes.
Hallelujah, praise Jesus.
All right, and this one's right here. Great. The Sixth Sense. In Philadelphia, child psychologist Malcolm Crowe is at home with his wife, Anna, when Vincent Gray, a former patient Malcolm had treated, breaks into their house. Vincent accuses Malcolm of failing him before shooting Malcolm and then himself. Months later, Malcolm has begun working with Cole Sear, a 9-year-old boy who reminds him of Vincent. He feels he must help Cole to rectify his failure to help Vincent and reconcile with Anna, who has become distant and cold and is suffering from depression. Cole's mother, Lynn, worries about him, especially after seeing mysterious signs of physical harm. At a birthday party, when bullies see that Cole is terribly scared of a cupboard, they lock him in there, causing him to scream in terror about someone seemingly inside with him. Following this, Cole finally confides to Malcolm that he sees dead people who walk around like the living do, unaware that they are dead. Malcolm thinks Cole is schizophrenic and considers dropping his case. However, after listening to an audio tape from a session with Vincent, he hears a man begging for help in Spanish, when Vincent is supposed to be alone in the room, suggesting that Vincent had the same ability. He realizes that Cole is telling the truth and suggests that he try to communicate with the ghost and help them finish their business. One night, Cole discovers Kira Collins, a female child ghost, vomiting. He finds out who she is and goes with Malcolm to the funeral reception at her home. In her room, Kira gives Cole a videotape, and he hands it to her father. The tape reveals Kira's mother poisoning her food, alerting her father to the reality of her death and saving her younger sister from the same fate. Now that Cole is doing better socially and personally, he tries out and given a lead part in a school play. He is coached by a ghost director and gives a masterful performance with Malcolm looking on. Before leaving, Cole suggests that Malcolm try speaking to Anna while she is asleep to ensure he can understand her better. While stuck in traffic, Cole tells Lynn, his mom, his secret. When she does not believe him, he tells her his late grandmother visits him and describes details from his mother's childhood that he could not have known. Shocked, Lynn finally accepts that her son has a special ability. Malcolm returns home to find his wedding video playing and Anna talking in her sleep, asking Malcolm why he left her. Suddenly, she drops his wedding ring and he notices that it is not on his finger. Recalling what Cole told him about dead people, only seeing what they want to see, Malcolm locates his gunshot injury and finally realizes that he did not survive being shot by Vincent and has been dead the entire time while working with Cole. Malcolm quickly comes to terms with the fact that he is a ghost and tells Anna that she was never second to anything and that he loves her. Anna's face relaxes, indicating she is now at peace and can move on. Malcolm's business with both Anna and Cole is complete, and his spirit departs in a flash of light. And that is that's a very quick, but it sums it up. That is our movie.
Definitely.
What is your score?
My score. The opening scene is still disturbing as fuck. It jarred me.
Yeah.
It still jarred me, and I knew what was gonna happen. That was probably one of the scenes that was most seared on my brain. So I knew how it went, but it's still, I was like, Jesus, and I felt really tense, and I was like, damn, M. Night Shyamalan. I can
Wada
never
wada
say
bing
his
bang.
name. I can never say his name. Every time I say it wrong, and I feel so bad about it. But anyways,
I think he's used to it by now. All the jokes that have been
I
made
know
about it.
I
Yeah.
feel so bad though. I'm like still can't do it. Shyamalan?
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
M. Night
Anyways,
Shyamalan.
him, M.
Yeah.
Night, he's amazing. He also makes a cameo in this movie. God bless. So it's a great movie, and it's so well plotted out that there are visual cues, there are physical cues throughout this movie that links everything together, that gives you the information that you need. And I was picking up on stuff that I didn't remember from the first time I watched it. And I was like, well, shit, I didn't remember that. Oh my God, that's so similar, or this and that. And I made way more connections during this movie in like the action and the characters. And it was just, it's such a masterfully put together movie. You can tell this was probably something that he worked on for years, and he wrote and he plotted and he planned, and the performances were great. Haley Joel Osment, fucking amazing as a creepy kid who can see dead people. So good, especially for someone so young. Like, he killed it. Bruce Willis was great. And when you really think about all the things that were like acting notes that they would have gotten about movements, touching, and things like that, because I'm like, that would be super hard to hold yourself in a certain position, or to not reach out and touch someone while you're trying to have a conversation. And it was really, really good. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I firmly put this one in the amazing category. There's thoughts in this
Right.
movie.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
This movie obviously did not have the same punch as the first time seeing it, but I still really enjoyed it. I was actually surprised. This is again great acting, great pacing. I mean, we don't even get a real hint of the ghost thing until the 45-minute mark. Like when he hears the voice from the dumb waiter and the other kids lock him in. Then he tells Bruce Willis he sees dead people, and we're like 48, 49 minutes into the movie. This is not an R-rated movie. It was still creepy.
Yeah.
And if you have already seen it and know the whole reveal of Bruce Willis being the ghost, again, if you covered your eyes, your ears during the preview, and I ruined it for you, we just ruined it again. It was actually cool watching it again and looking for those clues. And they were right there. No one fucking talked to Bruce Willis, but the kid. There were, but it was shot fantastically that you easily overlooked all those clues because you were just into the movie. Yes, some of you out there are like, I knew the whole time. Well, in actuality, half of those people lied, which is sad, and others either guessed or never enjoyed a mystery thriller in their life. Bruce Willis, at the very least, deserved a nomination for Best
Yeah.
Actor. Toni Collette was amazing. She was nominated. Haley Joel Osment was nominated. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dang. He should have been nominated too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, this
100%.
was a fantastic movie. I did enjoy it. Is it something I'm going to watch on all the time? No, none of these movies are. But will
Yeah.
I watch it again? Absolutely. Yeah, this was a great movie.
I'll probably watch this again sooner than any of the other movies that were on this list. But I also want to point out, because this was something that I noticed when I was watching it this time. I was watching it and I saw Donnie Wahlberg, because he plays Vincent, all grown up. And I was like, oh, so like I really got a good look at like him as a character. And I was like, oh, okay. And I noticed that he had like a swath of white hair or lighter hair in his thing. And then the first time you see Haley Joel Osment's character, when he turns around to close the door, you see like lighter colored hair in there. And I was like, oh, I never noticed that before.
Yeah, the little grayish hair on the
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
But it's
Yep.
not obvious. It's not like
No.
right in front of his. No, it's blended in, and you're just like, that is so smart. Like there were just a lot of smart choices in this movie.
Yep.
It's impressive.
All right, so let's start with our 5 to number 1. 1 being the movie we thought should have won
Mm.
the Oscar for Best Movie of 1999, the 2000 or the 72nd Academy Awards. What was your number 5?
Cider House Rules.
Anna's number 5 was Cider House Rules. What would be your like score? Like, rent it, stream it, skip it, buy it, discount it?
Honestly, it's I'd probably say skip it. It's a if you stream it, if you're really into like the technicalities of film, the cinematography, the direction, even music. If you're a huge like score fan, sure. But if you're looking for a movie that, has substance and purpose and 3 acts, and this is not the movie for you.
Okay. My number 5, American Beauty.
Ah.
Again, okay, I liked all these movies. Like,
Yeah.
I liked them all. I would say I would buy this at a discount.
Okay.
Like, if it's $9.99, I probably, rather than rent it, I probably would have bought it at a discount. I wouldn't pay $20,
Oh, no.
$30 for a Blu-ray or anything like that. No. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I did but I liked all these movies. So
Yeah, like the one I probably disliked the most was Cider House Rules, but it still wasn't a bad movie.
yeah.
Like it
What's
was just I was bored by it, but it was still a good movie.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is The Insider. It was standard. It was formulaic. It was good. Great acting, great directing, great cinematography. Like it had the chops, but it was very formulaic. It's a dime a dozen. We've all seen these kind of movies before. We'll continue to see them, but there was nothing that really it reminded me almost of Spotlight, but Spotlight I felt was way better than this one. So I mean, like that's kind of my gauge. So I mean, good, but not super great. I'd probably stream this.
My number 4, Cider House Rules.
Yeah.
Again, I liked it. I would buy this at a discount. I'll watch this again. It's not the feel-good movie of the year.
No, you're not into kids dying, abortions, and
No
and
abortions,
incest? No?
incest, and orphans dying. No, it's not like it's not the feel-good movie of the year. But I did really enjoy it. I was surprised. This would be my number 4. Your number 3?
My number 3 is The Green Mile.
The Green Mile.
It was a little too long for me. I think it could have been trimmed up a little bit. Still really great performances, great story. Also, I didn't get Justice for Coffee, which still upsets my soul a little bit. But I mean, like quality-wise, great movie. I just a little too long and it didn't pull me in enough.
My number 3, The Insider.
Mm.
Again, I thought it was a fantastic movie. It was well shot. This is like the pinnacle of directing and acting from not just your main actors, like across the board. It was a great movie. I loved it. I would buy this. I'd
Mm.
buy this movie. Your number 2.
My number 2 was American Beauty.
Wow.
Yeah, here's
Very
why.
high.
It is very high. Did I think it was the best movie of that selection of movies? No. But I do think it was a very, very good movie. It had a story to tell and it told it. It was a little out of the box, so it wasn't necessarily super cliche. I found it way more entertaining than I thought I would. So yeah, I gave it number 2. I mean, I would definitely stream this. I'm not mad that I rented it at $4.99, but I would not recommend people rent it at $4.99 because I feel like this could be a very polarizing movie. And unless you watched a lot of movies from the 90s that were in their pretentious artsy era, you're not gonna be wowed by this movie.
Okay. That was number 2.
That was
Number 2 for me was The Sixth Sense. This was a great movie. I really thought if I had to guess at the beginning, I thought this was gonna be number 5. I thought like I thought it was gonna be a one-trick pony because it really is a one-trick pony. You are never gonna get that back. Yeah, that shock of that movie. But watching it again, you look for other things, and it was well shot, well acted. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed. I would buy this too. I wouldn't watch it all the time, but I would definitely buy this movie.
Mhm.
So number 1 for you, and who you thought should have won the Oscar?
The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth
Yeah.
Sense.
It was just here's the thing, I didn't remember how smart this movie was. Like, that's what really brought it home to me. Also, it wasn't cliche. It wasn't formulaic. We
No.
hadn't seen a movie like this before that was so well done. Like, this was a quality movie doing something that was very different from the other movies that had come out. So I was like, this really should have gotten Best Picture because it was different and new and exciting. And instead they went for the dime a dozen movie American Beauty, and you're like, everybody can do this. Everybody has done this. Everybody will continue doing this. Sixth Sense was definitely very different at the time. And I mean, there was such an not uproar, but a lot of discussion about it because it was completely out of left field. And people were like, I had no idea that that was what we were going to end up with. And watching it again, it's still like a really quality movie. And you see all the smart choices that are made by M. Night with his writing and directing. And you're like, this is really much better than I remember it being. Damn. So yeah, by all means, buy it.
And my number 1 movie of the 2000, Green Mile. That's the movie I thought should have won Best Movie.
Yeah.
This movie was just movie magic. This was so well done. It was so well acted. I didn't find it for a 3-hour movie. I was impressed by how I was not bored. The performances across the board. This was movie magic. I think this movie should have won Best. So we are in agreement that American Pie should not have American Beauty. Actually, I think American Pie came out in 1999 too.
Very possible.
But American Beauty should not have won.
Correct.
You think The Sixth Sense, and I thought The Green Mile should have won.
And
Best
I would
Picture.
not be mad if The Green Mile had won because I do think it had a lot of very positive points.
Yeah, a lot of these movies. Yeah, if Sixth Sense would won, I could even see The Insider because just how well done it was. Yeah, just back in 1999 or 2000, I just didn't agree with American Beauty. It was not.
No, same. I thought for the emotional pull, Green Mile should have won at that point. But I also thought The Sixth Sense should have won just because it was so I was like, "I thought we were supposed to celebrate, like, Best Picture as in, like, really good quality movies, not necessarily ones we've seen before, like, something different," but apparently I was wrong. You were wrong too. We were both wrong 'cause they
Yes.
chose American Beauty. It's fine.
Yeah. I will say this, out of all 5 movies,
Mhm.
compared to other years, because there are some years that when you look at the 5 movies that were nominated, like, there's been times where there's been, like, 1, 2 where I'm like,
Yeah.
"Is that what? Those
Oh,
suck."
there have been times where I was like, "That is a like, a empirically shitty movie."
Yeah.
Like, not even like, subjectively, like, objectively, that is a crap movie, and you nominated it for Best Picture?
And sometimes they won.
Yes!
Yeah. This actually was I get all 5 nominations. I enjoyed all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this was at 1999 was actually one of the more
A good year for the
impressive
movies.
yeah, all nomination, yeah. Yeah, because like I said,
Oh.
there's been some real shit ones.
Like The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, like The Hurt Locker or
I
Crash.
I literally hated that movie with a fiery passion. I went to see it in theaters.
She did one movie where it was like The Hurt Locker, where they defused bombs.
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was okay. Best movie? No.
Oh, no, I walked out of Hurt Locker, and I was like, "That was a piece of shit." And my friend who was with me was like, "Why?" And I broke it down for her, like, section by section, scene by scene, choice by choice, and I was like, "This is why it's shitty." And she was like, "Whoa." I thought it was shitty too, but I didn't have all of that in my armor. I was like, "Nah, man, that was a shitty movie." And then it got nominated for Best Picture, then it won for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Who's been drinking while voting
Shakespeare in
for the
Love.
Oscars?" Oh, fuck that.
And it beat Saving Private Ryan. Are you out of your
Nah.
mind?
Nah. Shakespeare in Love was I don't
Cold Mountain wasn't a bad movie, but I don't think it was the best movie of the
No.
year. Crash was definitely not the best movie. Yeah, there's a lot of them. This one wasn't so bad, but yeah, it didn't deserve to win.
Yeah,
Right,
but
yeah.
no, the nominees for this one, they're all good. They're all good quality movies.
Yep.
Like, there
Yeah.
isn't one that you can be like, "Well, that was just shitty." Like, they're all good quality movies, and at this point, it is just personal preference of which one you prefer. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to do this again. It was fun. Yeah, we'll have to get
Mhm.
more shittier movies because these were all good.
We're
All
gonna have
right.
to take a different
Before
turn.
we go, we are going to take a look at Spaceman. That is on Netflix right now. All right.
Yes.
What did you think about Space? What's your review of Spaceman? You watched it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I did. Oh boy, did I ever. Funnily enough, I watched it after I watched The Green Mile.
Oh, there's an uplifting.
I was like, "Why did I do this?"
Ugh.
Okay. I okay. I liked this movie, but there's a caveat. You really have to be in the right mindset to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause this is definitely an Eastern European art film movie. Like, this you need to listen to the words, you need to see the actions, you need to see the facial expressions. Um, I was like, I feel like I need to watch it again because I was like, I feel like The Green Mile drained me too much that I didn't get all of this, but I like Adam Sandler in it. I like Carey Mulligan in it. Isabella Rossellini, I think, is the one that
Yep.
plays that. It's so good. It is a really, really interesting I think Paul Dano plays the entity,
Yep.
whatever we're calling him. Um, it's a really, really interesting movie, and it definitely explores, like, the whole meaning of life, the choices you make, the consequences that come with it. What happens when you do finally make the right choice. Overall, pretty good, but it is a very niche movie. This is not for the masses. I happen to like weird Eastern European art house movies. So watching this, I was like, "Cool." I'm really tired and a little emotionally spent from Green Mile. I'm gonna have to watch this again, but I was like, "I like it." And I like Adam Sandler in these kind of roles. I don't like him in comedies, but I love him when he's exploring his humanity.
It was exploring, all right.
He was exploring. So I liked it. And I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it because I don't think I would have liked it as much if I had to pay for it. But I mean, if you have Netflix, I mean, click on it, but be ready. Like either be drunk to watch it or be alert and paying attention
Or
and
high.
all in or very high.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
When I first heard of Spaceman starring Adam Sandler, I was so excited. Adam Sandler in space, bring on the ha-has. Which of Sandler regulars were going to show up as Mission Control, or better yet, aliens? Rob Schneider, David Spade, Nick Swartzen, Kevin James. Bring it on. Then I saw the trailer for Spaceman and thought to myself, this is not a ha-ha movie at all. Then I watched it. No ha-has. This was a complete rip of 2001: A Space Odyssey in tone, look, technology, and instead of a mellow talking computer, we got a mellow talking space spider. The story is hard, or for me to wrap my head around. Like it takes, or it must take place in an alternate reality where the purple cloud has appeared in the sky and has settled around Jupiter somewhere, and the race is on to explore it, to get information about it between, of all places, the fucking Czech Republic and South Korea.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Actually, the South Korean space program is actually pretty astounding.
Now, I bought that part. I did. Okay, South Korea now, but this looks like it took place in the 60s.
It was all very confusing.
Yes,
but
very
amazing.
confusing. And
Confusing.
South Korea in the 60s? No.
Yeah.
But like Sandler's character Jacob had already been in space for 6 months. His wife won't return his calls. He's losing it, and suddenly Space Spider shows up to hang out with them. This is all in the preview, so I'm not ruining anything. Also, this really would have worked as a comedy. What I'm saying, like some space spider shows up, and he's from the Czech Republic. Could have been very funny. I have not read the book Spaceman of the Bohemia, nor do I think I ever will. I hate to say this, and bitch at me all you want. This movie might have benefited from being Americanized and a little screenplay punch up, modernized. Now, I also believe we need movies like this to take a chance and tell a story outside the realm of what we come to expect. The acting is great. The cast, like you said, from Sandler, Rossellini, Mulligan, Kunal Nayyar, Kuthaprali from Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
The great Paul Dano as the space spider. They all did a great job. The look, once you kind of got into it, very 60s retro looking. I mean, everything looks super high tech from 50 years ago.
Yes.
And it became very charming. I wish it gave a bit more story about the time period, the politics of the time, just a bit more. The space effects were amazing to look at.
Oh, gorgeous.
Like, going into the cloud, the beginning and the end, it all looked fantastic. The spider, weird, but I'm guessing it was supposed to be. It was all right looking. The movie lets you decide if, what they call him? Anus?
It's either Anus or Anouk.
Anouk, yeah.
Because Sandler called him both of those.
Yeah. So
and it
this
drove me bananas.
And the movie lets you decide.
Yeah.
If it's in his head, if he's real. I would say stream it, which is good because that's the only way you can watch it. I'm not disappointed that I watched it. Will I ever watch it again? No. But I really believe we need movies like this. Yes. I'm not mad that I watched it. It wasn't a waste of time. It was very different. It took me a while to like just let all that stuff go and just accept what I'm watching, the story that's being told to me. The acting was good. It looked good. It was very cool. The way the space was all told. The story is very hard to wrap your mind around. Stream it just to give it a chance. You'll probably go, nice fucking suggestion, you moron. But yeah, I am not disappointed I watched it, but I will not watch this movie again.
See, and I probably will watch it again, like in the middle of an afternoon after I'm very well rested and I'm looking for something that will kind of make me think and like get me involved. So like this is one of those you need to think when watching this movie.
Yes.
Don't it's not, Fast and Furious. It's
No.
not it's
No.
not a Star Trek movie. Like this is an we're having an existential crisis in space. Hey, is that giant spider a hallucination or an actual alien? Who knows? We'll never know. But I mean, it's a really, really interesting and it gets you thinking and it poses some interesting questions and scenarios for you.
Yeah, it's a very artsy movie too.
Oh
And
god, yeah.
it goes out of
Yeah.
its way to be an artsy movie.
Like they
And
had a purpose.
this is not like Netflix's Bird Box or The Extraction 1 and 2 or Glass
No.
Onion or whatever. This is a very specific, like you said, very niche movie. But I'm so glad Netflix did it. Even though I won't watch it again. I'm really glad Netflix did do this movie because we don't need the superhero thing. I can't believe I'm saying this is getting old.
But
They
it is.
fucked up Star Wars. Like, I mean,
They fucked up a lot of things because now they're just looking for more
money. How
output,
much?
not quality. They're going
Yeah.
for quantity, not quality.
Yep. And
And
this
I
is trying
remember
something new.
Yeah. I
Well,
remember when movies like this I remember when movies like
2001
this were
redo.
regular.
Yeah.
But the theme of this movie where it's something a little random and it's a little weird and it's not just cookie cutter or formulaic. Like it's a little individual because there's so many things where you're like, does is this is that do they mean to do that? Like I loved all of that. One of my complaints, I'm
One.
like Adam Sandler is supposed to because they call him Jakob, not
Jakob, yeah.
Jacob,
Not
Jakob.
Jacob. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's apparently Eastern European. His wife, Lenka, is supposed to be Eastern European, yet they both have American accents.
I noticed the odd time he does try to give a little Russian
There were
type,
yeah.
yeah, or
There were moments where
Polish.
I was like,
Yeah, a little
that's
bit.
Slavic. That's
Yeah,
Slavic. So you would hear these little things, and then I was like, that's super fucking weird.
yeah.
I'm like, pick either your character is Eastern European, so you're going to speak English with an Eastern European accent, or you're American. And either one is fine. It's a solid choice. But this flipping back and forth, I do not appreciate.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about watching Spaceman, I cannot stress enough, no ha-has. There are no ha-has in this movie at all. Not one. Not one
I
ha-ha.
don't know. When the alien spider or hallucination spider, when the giant spider tries to follow him into a bathroom and he's like, this room's off limits and shuts the door, I kind of giggled a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not a ha-ha. It's more like a
It's not a haha. It's yeah, but to be perfectly honest, when Adam Sandler makes haha movies, I hardly ever haha.
oh, see,
So
I love the ha-ha Adam Sandler movies.
yeah, no. I like him better in his serious roles, and I really liked him in this.
Yeah, he did do it. Like I said, the acting was great.
Yeah.
It is a niche movie. I'm glad
It
they're
is.
doing it. We need to get away from all these fucking I love comic book movies and Star Wars and
Yeah.
but we need to get back to trying new things.
Interesting
Sometimes they'll work.
stories.
Yeah, sometimes they'll work, sometimes they won't. But
Yeah.
try. Yeah.
I want
Netflix has become really good for giving it a go.
Yeah.
Throwing it against the wall and see what sticks.
They're like, maybe this will work.
Yeah.
Although I will say I did see Lake Placid on one of the streaming services, and I was like, I
I
haven't seen you
fucking
in
love Lake
forever.
Placid.
I
Yeah. Oh, we
love
should do
Lake
that
Placid.
one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll hold off on
Summer's
rewatching it.
coming. Yeah. That actually
Yeah.
might be a great one to do.
Oh, we can do like a summer camp one or summer vacation. Lakes.
Lakes.
Movies that take place on lakes, because there's
Yeah.
another really shitty movie. I think it's called Shark Night. It's about a freshwater shark in a
A
lake.
what? A
Freshwater shark
Oh,
eating people in a lake.
nice.
Oh god,
Is it
it's
the one
terrible.
where it's the 3D and there's like 6 different sharks in there or something? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, this one's not 3D. It
Okay.
feels like a TV movie, but I think they tried to make a movie.
Hmm.
God bless. It's terrible.
All right, so Spaceman is on Netflix. Like I said, no ha-has in the Adam Sandler
ha-has.
movie. It's not funny at all, but it is different.
Yes, it is very different, very interesting, and it's a thinker. It's a thinker movie. So
I'm
if you're not
telling
looking
you,
for a thinker movie, don't watch this.
I am never going to watch this fucking movie again. I will never, ever, ever watch this movie. Just so you know, I ain't watching it again.
Are
But
you
I'm
not
glad-
watching this again?
I don't think so. But I'm glad I did see it. I was not horrified at like, what am I watching? It is very different. It's very nichey. I'm glad I watched it this one time.
And only this one time.
And only this one time. All right. So that's it for Spaceman. And that is our show of we did of redoing the 72nd Academy Awards. We should do that again. We should pick a more controversial or hated year.
I mean, by all means, anybody who listens to this, feel free to send in suggestions of what years you think we should tackle. And also what categories. Like if you want to start giving us like best actor, best actress, and be like, let's see who comes out on top, who reigns supreme, we're down. Because this one's actually pretty fun just to watch all the movies from the same year.
Because Kevin Spacey, he won Best Actor, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. Because Michael Caine won
Best Supporting Actor. I get that one. Kevin Spacey shouldn't have won Best Actor. Really? I think I would have said Bruce Willis or Tom Hanks.
Yeah, see, I can see why Kevin Spacey.
His character was pretty cool.
The growth of his character,
and
he hammered it home.
Yeah,
like
he did.
You could see it was really like I'd still give it to him. Russell Crowe, I wouldn't give it to.
No, although the movie was great and their performances were great, Al Pacino and Russell Crowe, no.
Yeah. You know who I thought had a really good chance, and I wouldn't have been mad if they won? Denzel Washington. For the Hurricane.
The Hurricane. Yeah, he was nominated too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it.
I like Denzel Washington anything. He's one of those actors where if he's in it, I'll watch it.
Oh, 100%. Because you're always going to get a good performance from him.
Yeah.
Daniel
Day-Lewis. There's a few good actors where they're not going to just phone it in.
Yep.
They're gonna give it.
100%.
Yeah.
He's one of those. God bless.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this very long episode of 5 different movies plus Spaceman. Until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.